I'm scared. Hello friends, welcome back to Francesca's Books. My name is Francesca, these are my books, and here we talk about all things thriller books, and I'm already so excited to tell you that today's video is going to be a 24-hour readathon. You're going to get the best thriller book recommendations through this. I have a great feeling. So I have attempted this challenge before, maybe 6 months ago, and my thoughts were to just read straight for 24 hours, like still sleep a bit, but it just kind of crashed and burned. I did okay, I think I read maybe like 2.5 books, but the more efficient way to do it is to read for 12 hours over 2 consecutive days, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. So it's just coming up to 9 o'clock now, so I'm gonna read till 9 p.m. tonight, and then the same again tomorrow. So over the next 24 hours, I will indeed be including audiobooks as part of this. If I'm like cooking dinner or getting ready, like I'll still be reading, but I'll be listening. I also put up an Instagram story a few days ago of asking you guys for your favourite fast-paced thriller books, and unsurprisingly I had read most of them, but there were a few suggestions which I have taken and included in this video, so thank you to everybody that did that. I just want to absolutely fly through these books, like I just want the best of the best, so I'm really hoping that I have chosen well. So without further ado, let me tell you the books. So I've only chosen 4 because I feel like I'm probably going to tweak this as we go, like based on my mood and like what I want to read next, and maybe some of these books might be similar, I'm just not aware, so I thought I would just stay real, stay realistic. So the first book is Love Mum by Ileana Zander. I mentioned this one to you guys quite a few months ago now, but I got the physical copy recently and was like, yeah, this has gone straight back to the top of my TBR. This was also one that was suggested over on Instagram as well, so I thought it's a sign. I've also chosen Count My Lies by Sophie Starver because this has been described as very Frida McFadden-esque, and I feel like that's what we need in this kind of situation. I'm not sure if this was like the 5th book that I get to that I'd be able to comprehend anything like really in detail or specific. I have no idea how fantasy girlies do these 24-hour readathons. Can you imagine starting a new fantasy book every time? You'd be like, my brain's gonna explode. I also thought I'd add a Lucinda Berry book into the mix, so Off the Deep End is one of her books I haven't read yet, and these are also quite short, so I thought this would be a good one. And then there's a little bit of something lighter, even though I have been told this does include some dark themes, but it's overall wholesome. I picked up The Wedding People because this feels like a contemporary that I might need to just like level out for these like really dark thrillers that I'm gonna pick up. So I think I can read these 4 books. I don't know if I'm being overly ambitious here, but I just feel like I can, like one book in maybe like 6 hours is doable, but we will see. So I'm gonna move everything so I have a little reading set up in this corner because this is just where I like to be. So I'm gonna move my desk out of the way, get my comfy armchair in, and then I'm just gonna crack on with the first book. There is no time like the present. And if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you get all the best thriller book recommendations. So I am going to start with Love Mum by Ileana Zander. I feel like this has the potential to be a really like good start to this vlog and just a really good read in general. Don't know why I have such high hopes and that I haven't read it before. So we're following our female main character Mackenzie, whose mum died or was unalived, unsure, and she is going to work out what has happened. But you'll be very unsurprised to know that she receives letters that are signed Love Mum after she's been unalived, so her mum's still kind of helping her work out what's going on. So I'm gonna stop yapping and start doing some reading. We are 1 hour in and I'm making great progress. I've managed to read 100 pages, so I'm up to chapter 17, but I think it makes sense because it's quite like an easy book to read, which is exactly what I wanted. I'm really liking this so far, but I'm not really sure where the plot is trying to go. So we have obviously the unalived mum and the letters that have been sent to her daughter. The daughter, Mackenzie, also has this like best friend who's a guy who's like helping her like try and like uncover what's going on. So it's kind of giving Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson, and the characters are a similar age as well, so I'm definitely drawing some comparisons there. And then in terms of the relationship that she had with her mum, it's very much like ghostwriter vibes that I just read. She hates her mum, like she is giving her no slack for anything that she's done. There's also a really cool grandma character, which is the mum of the mum that's obviously being unalived, and she's just really cool. I kind of want to be her. I'm very much liking how dark this is as well. Like we have definitely some darker themes. It's giving like proper psychological thriller, not just a mystery. So very happy so far. So I haven't had breakfast yet and it's 10:30 now. So I'm going to go and make some breakfast. But in spirit of the 24-hour challenge, I'm going to keep listening. This audiobook is giving me a very different perception of some of the younger characters. I think her best friend who is helping her in this investigation, now I've heard his voice, he's seeming more like a bad boy, even though that's not the way I read him in the book. So it's an interesting comparison. But I'm also really liking the actual letters in this book. They get more and more twisted every single letter that comes and every time I read it. So I'm going to continue while I have my breakfast. I've now got an iced coffee as well, as you guys saw me make, so I'm feeling like in a better place. So I'm going to switch to the Kindle version while I'm eating so I can like click through my pages. But I feel like it's time to get snuggly as well. I feel like it's blanket time. No, Fran, you can't be tired already. We're only 1 hour and a half in. Oh my god, already! Oh my god! Part 2. This is truly one of those stories where you have no idea who to root for. I am so conflicted. Anyway, so I'm now on page 240 and I've got the Kindle back out because I'm going to eat my lunch. I've got pasta. I made this last night kind of in preparation because I was like, I don't want to spend loads of time cooking, which obviously I will be doing while listening to audio. But I thought this was like easier for lunch day one. So it's like a little bolognese and pasta dish. I feel like this was a fantastic choice of first book because it is fast paced and it is twisty. Like, it's everything I wanted from this so far. So I'm just about to finish. I've literally got 15 pages left, and even if there's no more twists, this is still such a highly rated book for me, but I have a feeling there might be. I've also really liked that the pacing hasn't really dropped whilst I've been reading it. Most of the time in the middle there's like a lull until it comes back up again, but this one's been fast paced the whole time. Oh. Oh. What a queen. What an absolute queen. Oh, the sass of that. I honestly feel like there's nothing more you could ask for in a thriller book than this. Like, what an amazing book to start on. I feel so motivated now to read some more. As you saw, especially with my final reaction, it was twist, twist, twist. And I wouldn't have even been bothered if there wasn't like a final plot twist or how things kind of played out, because the book was so satisfying as we were going, like working out this story. I think towards the beginning I wasn't really sure where it was going to go, because although our female main character was getting these letters from her mum, who's obviously been unalived or passed away, it still really wasn't clear what she was trying to say or what she was trying to do. I also absolutely loved that the characters in this you could really root for, like especially our female main character. I really believed in her, I really liked her, and the supporting characters were such a mix of being pure evil and helpful, and I think those lines were really blurred, which also made it work really well. And to add to everything else, there was also a romantic subplot, so your girl's happy. This very much felt, not in terms of the same writing style as Andrea Mara, but definitely like drawing the comparison of it just has everything that a good thriller should have. So very impressed. It's a 5-star. I don't know what else to tell you. I wouldn't take anything or add anything else. Therefore it's a 5. I'm gonna take a like 10-15 minute break to decompress before I choose my next. Okay, I think we are actually running ahead of schedule. My prediction was 1 book every 6 hours, so a total of 4, and we've only taken 5 hours to read that book, so I think that's really good. I'm actually really impressed, but I'm conscious that was the first pick as well, so maybe I'm being a little bit ambitious. However, we're going to move on to our next book now. I've only got maybe 20 minutes, and then I'm going to run out, get a coffee drive-through, run some errands, and then come back because there is only so long I can sit in this chair. The next book we're going to read is Off the Deep End by Lucinda Berry. I feel like I'm ready for this. I feel like I'm in a good headspace for it, and it's also quite short, so I feel like it will be quite impactful. So this follows a mum who drives off a cliff, I think, and there's 2 young boys in the back, one of which is her son and one of which is his friend. in all the crash and the tragedy and the wreck, she manages to save one of them, but instead of saving her son, she saves the friend. And that is the opening of this book. Aside from that, I'm not really sure where it's going to go, to be honest. Says she finds herself in the middle of a police investigation, and honestly, I'm not surprised. This is also the American paperback copy, so it's like extra floppy, extra nice to read. Like, I'm having a good time already. I think this is so funny because I just vlog anything for you guys. I'm just like, hey, this is what we're doing. But on TikTok, everything has to look good. So I'm just sat here like this, trying to get the best angle, thinking the vlog would love this. God, that was an intense prologue. In Lucinda Berry we trust. She's just so real. Okay, listen to this. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. A little bit of thing. And then she says, sometimes what doesn't kill you simply doesn't kill you, and you spend all your time wishing it had. Real. Uh-oh. I just know this is going to be intense. Oh, and another point of view. And this name sounds familiar. Amber Greer. Does that ring a bell to anyone else? Maybe it's someone else in Lucinda Berry's universe. Clock's gone off. You guys might think I'm faking it if I don't have the clock on. There we go. Oh, okay, I see what that is now. Okay guys, it's time to go. I'm also gonna get cabin fever if I stay here any longer. This tote bag is actually one of the best things I ever bought in my life. It was one of those purchases that was kind of on the expensive side, and now I just could not be without it. So anyway, I'm yapping, let's go. Boy, I'd like to speak with you. Would you mind? We made that there from day one. I was too afraid to get upset if I asked him if I could go through it. Hello, you okay? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, good, thank you. Amazing, and a straw as well, please, if that's okay. Amazing, thank you. Have a nice day. You too. It's also such a nice day, I didn't even realise. Just been inside all day. I've also changed my outfit because I didn't realise that it was this nice outside. So I've got a little sweater vest situation going on. I'm feeling very much like Chandler Bing right now, but I don't know, I think it's kind of working. I don't know. But this is also my words of wisdom to anyone else who's going to attempt this like 24-hour reading challenge, is definitely to like change up the location. I just feel like inspired again. Maybe it's the one sip of coffee I've had, but either way it's worked. So I think tomorrow, even though I didn't anticipate doing anything, just staying at home and reading, I think I might have like another little coffee shop visit. Five. Amber Greer. So the time is still live, but I'm getting today's TikTok and Instagram post live, so you can't hate me. Just gonna quickly pop into Tesco. I feel like more snacks are needed. Already put the headphones on because I'm still listening. Not right now while I'm trying to record. I tried to, too overstimulating. And I'm also gonna get something for dinner. Do you know, I've just realised as well, this is a huge Tesco. They're definitely gonna have books. Excuse this steering wheel angle, but I got this for dinner. I'm feeling like not cooking tonight. I already cooked for breakfast and lunch, so they're actually yummy. And then to compensate, some mango and some cucumber with sour cream and chive dip. This is so rogue, I don't know, they just look like good snacks. And then the real snacks for the cup of tea later. Has anyone else ever had these? They are my favourites. Oh yeah, and while I have you, the book. I am, I think, like 30% of the way through. It's hard to tell because obviously I've been listening to the audio for the last little bit. It's dark, it's intense, it's messed up family dynamics and interpersonal relationships. It's everything that Lucinda Berry always delivers. Like, this author stands on business every time she writes a book. I usually find with Lucinda Berry's books though that she doesn't do like huge twists. Like, sometimes you're really expecting a big twist and then there isn't one, and then sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I understand like where this is going through the narrative, and then she does a twist, so like it's really unreliable either way. But so far we have just like got to the bottom of like what's gone on with this car going off the cliff. That was exactly what happened, and it was very intense. And now the child that she saved that wasn't actually her son has gone missing. That's also on the synopsis, guys, it's not a spoiler. So we've got this poor woman dealing with the fact that her son has died and she's at fault inadvertently, and then the boy that she saved is also gone missing, so she is not having a great time. And obviously the parents of the boy are like super involved, like, my son was saved and now he's not, etc, etc. I have just had dinner and I am now definitely at least halfway through. I'm really enjoying this. I'm just not sure if there is going to be the twists like I mentioned. It doesn't feel like it. There's very much a setup of who has taken Isaac, the boy who we managed to save but wasn't her daughter. But it's being told from her point of view. So Jules is our female main character and she is in a psychiatric facility. I think willingly, she admitted herself. Still unclear on that. And then also the parents of the boy who survived. So we've kind of got two opposing forces who really should just be on the same team, but they're not. And then we've also got like a detective character and a psychiatrist character. And I think there's quite a lot of overlap here. I think there might be some little skullduggery going on. So let's quickly consult the iPad. We are on 13 hours, 18 minutes. I'm gonna go get ready for bed now and get into bed. It is currently 10 past 8, so we've got another hour and 20 minutes until 9:30 when the timer stops, or should I say the timer goes to 12. I have a good feeling that I can get this read. What do we think? I think I can. I never thought when the clock went past 12 hours that I would still want to carry on reading, but I only have 20 pages left and it's explosive to say the least. Oh God. Oh, Lucinda, that's icky. No twist. Gutted. There was no twist, but this was damn twisted. Oh, I'm on low battery. Blimey, Lucinda Berry. Welcome to day 2. So I of course finished Off the Deep End last night. I didn't give you guys my thoughts because I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep any second. So I really like this. It was kind of giving me the same vibes as Saving Noah, where it's like a really harrowing story and you just don't even know where to like place your morals, but not in like a like for like way. Obviously it was a completely different situation, but some of the subject matter you were kind of like, you genuinely don't know what you would do if this was your child or if this was happening to you. The opening situation itself was bad enough, but then when Isaac then went missing as well, you can understand like it was pure distress and like pure chaos for all these characters. I really like the format of this as well. So we had like the main story from Isaac's mum, the surviving boy who's gone missing, and then we also had case files of the woman who lost her son. So she's in like a, I guess like a psychiatric facility because she's struggling, without giving too much away. But then her chapters are told in like an interview style, which I really like. So the voices were very distinguishable because I guess you could maybe get those confused. If not, they're both mums who've lost a child. And as well, last night I was like, oh, there's no twist. On reflection, there was twists. They were just earlier on and I didn't really like react to them in the same way. They weren't like those visceral, huge, life-changing plot twists where everything that you've just read in the narrative changes. They were more just like the story's progression. I really love this author's writing though. There's something really special about Lucinda Berry's books and I've kind of been slowly making my way through them because I don't want to like rush them all. So I'm gonna land on 4 stars for Off the Deep End. I think this is a fantastic book and you should definitely check it out. And then this morning, whilst I've been getting ready, I have been listening to the first few chapters of Count My Lies, which is the next book we are gonna read. This has got literally every single thriller author that I respect's approval on the back of this book, which is very exciting, and I think it's another one that's like slightly less of a dark topic. So this book follows this woman who is basically just a liar. She lies compulsively about anything and everything. So this is in the synopsis. she meets this guy in the park with his daughter, and his daughter's had like a bee sting, and she just goes over and's like, oh, I can help, I'm a nurse. And she isn't, and she can't help, but she's just like compulsively lies and gets herself into these situations. And from that female main character point of view, it's kind of giving First Lie Whinge by Ashley Elston. I did like the concept in that book, but the ending felt a little bit flat for me. So I'm hoping this one lives up to something a bit more explosive. So as part of Sloane, our female main character's lies, she ends up nannying for a very wealthy family living in Brooklyn and looking after their daughter, and she's got herself into this very complex situation, and that is where we're up to in the story so far. I think I am about maybe like 15-20% in, so I got a good chunk read whilst I was getting ready, and now I'm going to switch to the hardback. So I'm just under halfway through, but I fear I'm losing it, guys. This is so much reading in one go, up to page 135. So I think that takes my total to like nearly 1,000 pages in the last 12 hours. So far, this is definitely Freida McFadden-esque, which is what I was expecting. It's very, very easy to read, like the actual prose of the book. I've kind of flown through these pages, honestly. I've not really like had to lift my head and think a lot, which I think is quite good. So we've got our female main character who is not only nannying under false pretenses, she's also befriending under false pretenses. So you just know this is just going to completely blow up in her face, and I hope it's explosive. This is like the biggest game of chicken I've ever witnessed. That's how I would sum up this book. Why do I feel like this is going to be The Housemaid Part 2? Like, she's befriended this woman who she's nannying for. I've got a suspicion. Maybe that's why people thought it was Freida McFadden-esque, not the fact that it's easy to read. So I'm like 3/4 of the way through now, and I'm gonna break to go and get some lunch with my grandparents. But honestly, this book has just gone from crazy to crazier. It's very like popcorn thriller-esque. There is not too much deep thinking about it. It really just is like a page turner, rich people drama, and we know I'm a fan of that. So I'm not gonna pause the timer. I am gonna put my headphones on while I'm going there and literally just have some food and then come back. Okay, I've just got back from dinner. I'm going to power through the rest of this book in hopefully less than an hour, and then I'm going to change the setup. I'm going to go somewhere else, do something else, because I'm losing momentum. Also, the chapters definitely feel on the longer side. They're actually not that long, I just checked, maybe like 12 pages, but I don't know, it just feels like it. 6 hours to go, and I'm feeling a little bit too comfy, but I do only have maybe like 30 pages left of this now. It is the definition of rich people drama, and I stand by it. It's a popcorn thriller. I don't think there's going to be like that massive depth to it even when I do finish, but we shall see. I think it's time to leave the villa. Okay, we can do this, guys. 4 hours and 50 minutes left. I've very nearly finished Count My Lies. I actually don't know what I'm going to pick for the last book of this vlog, I think. I don't think I can get another whole one read, or more than a whole one read. Wait. Oh my god, yes, that was perfect. That's so random though. I like that. So I just thought I'd finish off the last few pages of Count My Lies before we head out and start another book, and I feel like this is exactly what I expected it to be. It was definitely fast-paced, it was definitely easy to read, there were some good twists which I really, really liked, especially the very, very final twist. That made me so unbelievably happy. Like, similar vibes to The Drowning Woman by Robin Harding. I was like, yes, like you do that. But I will say there wasn't like loads of substance behind it. It did feel quite like surface level, but I did still have a fantastic time. I have seen quite a few people say that this was like not for them, but I really enjoyed it. And maybe because I've read it in one go, so it's feels like I'm more connected to the characters. And I think different people have different expectations of what they want from a thriller book as well. But for me personally, I love this. It was a 4.5. It was a just a brilliant read. I know I've picked these books for a reason, but I can't believe how much luck we've had so far on this reading vlog. Like a 5-star, a 4-star and a 4.5. Can you imagine if I'd have picked like a really boring, not fast-paced book for this? It just wouldn't have worked. But I think in that situation I would have just DNF'd it and started something else, because there's just no way that I could sit and read a book cover to cover that I wasn't enjoying. Like, I'm not that type of person. So 3 books down, I'm gonna pick my 4th and final read, and then I'm gonna go and sit in a coffee shop and read for a couple more hours. We've got 4 hours 20 minutes left on the clock, so I figure 2 hours out and then maybe 2 hours, come home, have dinner, and then we're calling the challenge. I'm kind of struggling with my last pick. I of course had Wedding People on the agenda as like the 4th book I'm going to read, but I'm feeling like still in a thriller mood. I'm not in the right headspace to read something contemporary. Just not sure, there's too much choice. All of this is my TBR. Which makes me happy because I've always wanted one of those. Guys, I think I've officially fallen off the wagon. We have 2 hours, 13 minutes left, but I only managed to read 50-ish pages of We Live Here Now. It's not the book's fault. I'm very much enjoying the book and I think I will definitely have a good time. This author's writing is very easy to read. The concept is really good. We have this couple and she's had some past health issues and trauma. They've moved from London to somewhere in Devon, like somewhere really remote, in this new house, and she doesn't know whether there's some weird goings on, whether it's haunted or whether it's a result of the medical treatment that she's had, which they did say she could have like hallucinations from. So I think it's going to be a is it paranormal, isn't it paranormal type vibe. I also love that this is set in England as well. I'm so used to reading books and they're set in New Jersey somewhere. Like, I'm a bit over it. I lost my mind a bit in there and I may or may not have just ordered a new coffee machine. That's the level of depth of procrastination it's taking me to read this book. And then I've also just claimed a little espresso mug. I nearly said espresso, oh my god, would you be so ashamed, with my stars from Starbucks. So I thought this would be really cute, and I think I'm going to carry on listening, and I think I'm going to go and buy some new little accessories for it. So it's going a bit off piece, but I'm almost not surprised. Like, I've done 22 hours of reading. Crossroads, Paul says. It's also a crossroads. Okay, I know we're going really off piece, but these were the bits that I got for the coffee machine set up tomorrow. So I got this to put my vanilla syrup in, a little tray, and then the jar to put the pods in. How cute! And then I also got some straws as well. Good morning, friends. It is literally only 7 AM the next day, but I had to sleep last night so bad. My brain was like foggy from reading all the words, so I was like, I'm going to update you guys in the morning. So that is a wrap on the 24-hour reading challenge. We managed to read 3.5 books, which I think was quite good. I feel like this went so much better than the last time I attempted this challenge, where I think I only read like 2, maybe like just over 2, because it wasn't very well organised, I'll put it that way. So before I give you my final thoughts on We Live Here Now, Love Mum was an absolute standout of this vlog. I gave it 5 stars, absolutely loved it. This was like such a good way to start this challenge as well. I was feeling so motivated after I read that. And then Off the Deep End by Lucinda Berry, I also really liked. This definitely had some darker themes, but this author has never failed me. So I gave this one 4 stars. And then we read Count My Lies by Sophie Starver, and I had such low expectations for this. Even though I ordered it from America and everything, but I really, really loved it. I think if you're gonna suspend belief and just take this for what it is, and for the almost simplicity of it and just the ease of read, then it's fantastic. And I gave this one a 4.5. And then of course I started We Live Here Now, so I managed to get about halfway through, so 156 pages in. I am really liking this so far. I don't know what it is about these like are they, aren't they, paranormal books for me at the moment, but I am loving them. I've also kind of come full circle with hardbacks. You've probably noticed this is my third hardback in probably like 5 books. I've always been a paperback girly, or sometimes a Kindle girly, but I feel like this new revelation is not going to be good for my bank balance. I really like how there's so many additional characters in this, and the main characters have their own things going on, as well as being in this married couple and this house situation. I wouldn't say it's scary, but I would say it's a little bit creepy, but it's all very subjective, I feel like, in this area. So maybe just like read the synopsis fully yourself and decide whether that's something that you would want to read, but I have a feeling thriller girlies over here will love it. So I've just counted the pages I've read in those 24 hours, and it was a grand total of 1,130 pages. So I'm really pleased. I'm very happy. I feel like this was a very successful vlog. We read some really good books. On that bombshell, I cannot wait to see you next time.